Adam here with Brooksaw Antiques. Today we have this 1970 Olympia SM9 vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Made in the USA and the second best typewriter of all time in my opinion, behind the Hermes 3000. But some people rank this as number one because it's definitely the most durable machine of all time. These will probably outlast any typewriter, probably will last until the end of time if taken care of. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight and line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper. This is the left margin. I'm going to set that on 0 and the right one around 75. And this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back like a switchblade and extends. So we're going to extend that out. That shows the page gauge, basically warning you when you get close to the bottom of the page. This is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got two adjustable rollers and a scale. Once you hear the bell, you're near the end of the margin. Hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips one, 1.5, or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on single, which skips 2 half spaces. When you have it in the middle, it skips 3 half spaces. When you have it all the way down, it skips 4 half spaces. We're going to keep that on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence in red on the next line. Switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side. Flip that down to the orange indicator. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon, which is red. When you have it on in the middle on the white indicator, it prints no ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it up top on the blue indicator, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. We're going to move that down for red. Beautiful. Light touch, powerful, smooth, also known as the Mercedes-Benz of typewriters. And it's got unique font. This is Elite number 60. I'm not sure if I've ever had this font before. I can't remember. But I was pleasantly surprised how clean it looks compared to your standard font. I really like the look of it. 11 characters per inch, which is a sweet spot. A lot of people say 10 is pica, 12 is typically elite, but this is also called elite when it's 11. So some people say that's right in between the sweet spot between pica and regular elite 12. To pull the page out easy, there's a switch on the right side. Flip that towards you, unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier, load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page or else it won't load correctly. I do two things here that I forgot to do. I always forget. So first thing we're going to do is draw straight and vertical lines. So there's a notch on either side of the card holder here, card index holder, whatever you want to call it. You put a pin in there, there's a little notch, and then you can draw. That's not in there good enough. There we go. So you can draw straight and vertical lines. So when you type an underscore on most typewriters, it's segmented. So that one doesn't look as pretty as it can look. I just didn't do it perfectly. But it gives you a nice straight line versus the underscore, which gives you more segmented line. And this is your page gauge. So once you get close to the bottom of the page, there's numbers here to tell you exactly how many spaces are left before you get to the end, and it will catch it there on the end so it doesn't fall out. Pretty cool. Okay, we're going to put the color back on black. Got a shift on each side, a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. MR stands for margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, there's a mechanism that blocks you from printing. Hit that MR button, does allow you to type past that all the way to the end. That also works on the left side. When you get past that left margin, very good. Backspace on the right side, super smooth. This is top of the line engineering, German engineering, basically like the Mercedes-Benz of typewriters. So all high quality parts. It's heavy and durable. You throw this thing down a mountain and it will still work. All right, tab. This is the difference between the SM8 and the SM9 is the tab is set on the keyboard, set and clear on the keyboard. When you have an SM8, you manually set them behind the carriage here. So if you don't have tabs back here to set your tabs, then you have an SM9. If you do, then you have an SM8. And this is a newer version. They moved the tab set and clear from the spacebar to the side here. And on the earlier SM9s, this would be your touch control. But they moved the touch control inside on this later SM9 model. So to set one, actually we have tabs set already. So we're going to clear them all in one swoop with this all tab clear lever. So now we shouldn't have any tabs, but I always like to set one somewhere in the middle so that way when you hit the tab button, it doesn't go slamming all the way to the end, causing wear and tear on your typewriter. By just pushing that lever up to the plus sign there, it stops at that spot. To clear that one specific tab and not all of them, just push that down to the minus sign. So now it clears that one tab, but we're going to keep that set. Above that is the carriage lock. Flip that up and move the carriage to the middle. It locks the carriage in the middle, also locks the keys. To unlock it, just push it down. All right, let's open the hood. Opens like a car hood. All the brand new ribbons loaded on the left side, so it's pulling clockwise to the right. If you want to switch that direction manually, the side you want it to go to, just flip this switch behind that spool and it will pull to that side. Works on both sides, and that's meant to catch the eyelet at the end of the ribbon, which is a little metal piece. It'll catch on that and swap it automatically, so you don't have to manually swap the direction on these unless it just slips past that or it's not threaded correctly. And if that's the case, you need to thread it correctly or tie a knot near the eyelet so it catches better. Sometimes it slides past that, and you can also slightly bend that to catch it better if it's bent out of shape. Touch control, there's a minus and a plus sign. It's all the way up to the minus sign, so it's light touch control. All the way down, that just increases the tension on the keys, so you do have to hit the keys harder for them to print, but they respond faster. This does have a naturally light touch, light and powerful. It's just like a gun that has no kickback. Just beautiful typewriter. All right. Carriage release on both sides on the deluxe model. Some of them will come with only one on the right side. All SM8s have one only on the right side, but the deluxe version has carriage releases on both sides. Very smooth. This is your paper support arm. Carriage release on the left. Super smooth. And I love the no clicks, no noise when you push the carriage to return. So a lot of the domestic USA ones, you can hear the click, 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 click when you push that. This has it's a spring that's loaded in there to stop it from contacting the escapement when you push it. Very nice. So if you pull the knob out and turn the platen knob, it disables the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You let it go, you get the clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space, same concept. With the line space selector pushed all the way back, it disables the spacing. Push it forward, you get the clicks. But you just want to be careful doing that because you will lose your line. That's only for getting in between the lines for documents and whatnot. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy or my new website, brooksawantiques.com.